Alright, well, hello everybody. And I have just thrown the set list into the chat, so for those who want it, it's there. And let's get started. This one's called The Knowledge Seekers. It should be the title track for the new album once we get around to recording said new album. And it's meant to be a sing-along, which, of course, is challenging in these Zoom times of ours. We are worshipping Prometheus in a new and modern way, and we light the flame of knowledge at the dawning of each day. From the largest wheeling galaxy to the smallest grain of sand, we seek to know its measure and we strive to understand. In my living room's a temple, in what some folk call a den. The walls are lined with bookcases, there's a notebook and a pen. There's a sacrificial altar, it's called a shredder by the door, and a stack of journal articles published the week before. And we are worshipping Prometheus in a new and modern way, and we light the flame of knowledge at the dawning of each day. From the largest wheeling galaxy to the smallest grain of sand, we seek to know its measure and we strive to understand. We've seen the moons of Saturn, heard the winds of Titan roar, and every day we find new things we never found before. The sun missing neutrinos, water on the moon of Mars, or another planet orbiting about another distant star. The universal building blocks we've gathered up in rows, we set them into columns, their secrets to expose. We seek a hymn to chemistry, our hearts and minds sublime, and we'll build a shrine to knowledge, one atom at a time. And we are worshipping Prometheus in a new and modern way, and we light the flame of knowledge at the dawning of each day. From the largest wheeling galaxy to the smallest grain of sand, we seek to know its measure and we strive to understand. We've mapped the God's blueprint for life, charted our DNA, produced vaccines and medicines to keep the ancient scourge at bay. We learn and craft experiments, pull mysteries away, until like gods ourselves we shall make life itself one day. We've dug the realm of atoms, split the nucleus in twain. Knowledge is like a genie, you can't put it back again. A tool is what you make of it, it is neither good nor bad, though we pray for greater wisdom than the gods have ever had. And we are worshipping Prometheus in a new and modern way, and we light the flame of knowledge at the dawning of each day. From the largest wheeling galaxy to the smallest grain of sand, we seek to know its measure, we strive to understand. Yes, we are the knowledge seekers, we seek to know it all. Know the universe itself down to each particle so small. And if learning is a journey, well, our feet are on the road, and we thank the God of knowledge and the fire he bestowed. We are worshipping Prometheus in a new and modern way, and we light the flame of knowledge at the dawning of each day. From the largest wheeling galaxy to the which measure it we strive. We strive to understand. Alrighty then. Mark, thank you for emailing that to Tasia. Appreciate that. Several years ago, we drove out to Edwards to watch the space shuttle land. And as we're driving across Mojave, sunrise hits, and it's just gorgeous, just giant bands of color. And it seemed to me that no sky was ever calling more than that sky that day. So this one's called Rocketsong. It is on the last album, which is available from your friendly neighborhood folk dealer or Bandcamp, as maybe. I can hear the rockets singing in the early desert dawn. They whisper on the morning breeze, it's time for moving on. A new frontier is calling, and it's just beyond the sky. So let's fly. Let's fly, let's fly, let's fly. Can you hear the rockets singing in the dawn? We waited 50 years to hear the rocket song again. The siren call, the shook to stir the heart of mortal men. Fly up and out and higher yet until you're falling free. New worlds and new adventures, so where you're meant to be. I hear a voice that whispers in the dawn. Yes, I can hear the rockets singing in the early desert dawn. They whisper on the morning breeze, it's time for moving on. A new frontier is calling, and it's just beyond the sky. So let's fly, let's fly, let's fly, let's fly. Can you hear the rockets singing in the dawn? Well, if you've ever seen the desert dawn, it's desolate and still. There's a beauty in the bleakness once the sunlight crests the hill, and the morning breeze so gentle stirs the creatures with its hand, and a thunder comes from heaven, and a new light lights the land. And I hear a voice that's speaking in the dawn. Yes, I can hear the rockets singing in the early desert dawn. They're speaking in the morning breeze, it's time for moving on. A new frontier is calling, and it's just beyond the sky. So let's fly, let's fly, let's fly, let's fly. Can you hear the rockets singing in the dawn? Well, it started in Mojave, but it's spreading the world around. and the spacecraft reach for heaven with a joy that knows no bounds. And they're hauling men and cargo flying higher every day. And there's a signpost in the heavens reading futures that away. And I hear a voice that's shouting in the dawn, as I can hear the rockets singing in the early desert dawn. They shout upon the morning breeze, it's time we're moving on. That new frontier is calling just beyond the sky. So let's fly, let's fly, let's fly, let's fly. Do you hear the rockets singing in the dawn? Well, I hear the voices calling and they're louder every day. They say, who needs this mundane world and planet anyway? Go grab that stick and throttle, fly till you pass the air. 'Cause once you get into orbit, you can go damn anywhere. And I hear a voice that thunders in the dawn, as I can hear the rockets singing in the early desert dawn. They thunder on the morning breeze, it's time we're moving on. A new frontier is calling and it's just beyond the sky. Let's fly, let's fly, let's fly, let's fly. Can you hear the rockets singing in the dawn? They're singing ever louder in the dawn. This is another one from the album. One of my favorite Kipling poems is Roman Centurion song. And it occurs to me that no matter when, no matter where, when you settle a new land, that land is home. 20 years ago, you sent me to this barren, airless land, and we've built a thriving colony from lunar rock and sand. I've helped to build a city grand beneath this glass steel dome, and now you say my work is done. It's time for going home. The earth is home no more. No, your earth is my home no more. Is where I raised a family and where my friends are near. A man learns what's important when he lives on the frontier. We may not have your luxuries or many fancy things, but I've seen my children flying free on human-powered wings. The earth is home no more. No, your earth is my home no more. You've never seen the stars above a river made of light, nor seen the shadows down below, pure black on brilliant white. And though the earth is beautiful, I must again repeat, I'd rather see it in my sky than right beneath my feet. The earth is home no more. No, the earth is my home no more. I've buried several good friends here, for the moon is harsh and cold. And now you claim it's time to go, now that I'm growing old. The new world's called for younger hands to serve your bottom line. Well, I might be slower than I was, but my skills are sharp and fine. The earth is home no more. No, your earth is my home no more. The rockets leave the landing pad for Earth each week or so, but I won't be on the manifest. You cannot make me go. My skills are valued on the moon. I'm a damn fine engineer. I'm staying put, I won't relent. I know that home is here. Earth is home no more. The earth is my home no more. This is the risk explorers take when they build a world anew. And in every generation there exists that hardy few who've learned to love the land they built. So as in years before, my home I built on lunar soil, the earth is home no more. The earth is home no more. No, your earth is my home no more. Your earth is my home no more. That is based on a short story I wrote that no one ever wanted to publish, so we recycle, reuse, and turn it into a song. For FOM this year, one of the challenges was to write music to a poem. And normally one would go straight to Kipling to do that, but he's been mined fairly well. This is a poem by Henry Lawson, written in 1901. Henry Lawson, for those who don't know, was an Australian bush poet. And this is called The Bush Girl. So you rode from the range where your brothers select to the ghostly grey bush in the dawn. You rode slowly at first, lest her heart shouldn't suspect that you were so glad to be gone. You had scarcely the courage to glance back at her by the homestead receding from you, and you breathed with relief as you rounded the spur. The world was a wide world to you. Grey eyes that grew sadder, then suddenly sunset rain. Fond heart that is evermore true, firm faith that grows firmer for watching in vain. She'll wait by the slip rails for you. Oh, the world is a new and a wide one to you. The world of your sweetheart is shut, for change it never comes to the lonely bush homes of the stockyard, the scrub, and the hut. And the only relief from its dullness she feels when the ridges grow softened and dim, and away in the dusk to the slip rails she steals to dream of past hours with him. Gray eyes that grow sadder and sunset rain. Fond heart that is evermore true, firm faith that grows further for watching in vain. She'll wait by the slip rails for you. Do you think in place of bare fences and dry creeks, clear streams and green hedges are seen, where the girls have the lily and rose in their cheeks, and the grass in midsummer is green? Do you think now and then in the world of the town life while London is new, of the hut in the bush and the freckle-faced girl who waits by the slip rails for you? Gray eyes that are sadder than sunset rain, bruised heart is evermore true, fond faith that is firmer for trusting in vain. She waits by the slip rails for you. I know. Alright, this is another Thom song. Deirdre was playing Fey Oracle, and I drew the card Melusine. High above the desert, oases dotting the sky, islands high above the burning sand. Up there one fateful day, I swear I met a fay by the brook, a golden dragon in her hand. I saw her in the dawning from the corner of my eye, swimming in the brook without a care. Her hair was red as fire, avatar of desire. I turned, there was nobody there. You have to open up your heart, a spring from mountain stone. Whispers through the pinions on the morning breeze, the brook singing in the morning light, the laughter lightly ringing, perhaps a bit of singing, as the shadows in the clearing took to flight. Was I being haunted? Perhaps being teased by the spirits and the legend of the land. Once again they're splashing, silver eyes flashing, a golden key-shaped locket in her hand. Don't set yourself apart, you're not meant to walk alone. She smiled and she beckoned, waved at me to stay, and sang as we sat beside the creek. You will travel far, questing for that star, and always fail till you know what you seek. You have to open up your heart, a spring from mountain stone. You set yourself apart, you're not meant to walk alone. Your smile, it pierced my heart. The dragon chirped and winked, four eyes blazed with an inner light. I knew not what to say in the dawning of the day, when again they vanish for my side. You have to open up your heart, a spring from mountain stone. Don't set yourself apart, you're not meant to walk alone. High above the desert, oases dot the sky, islands high above these burning sands. In the trees one magic day, I swear I met a fae. By the brook, a golden dragon in her hand. You have to open up your heart, a spring from mountain stone. All right, so previous one I sang, Henry Lawson. I really like the poem. It's quite clear that the main character is a complete ass and a piece of, leaving the girl behind. And he describes her as freckle face, which means she's probably a redhead. And once she figures out what he's done, anew, and the wide one is true, but infinite surely it's not. She now knows what you did, she's coming for you. Do you think she simply forgot? With a heart that you broke and a faith you malign, well, out seeking fortune and fame, and the freckle-faced girl that you left far behind, you even remember her name. Gray eyes that are colder than winter rain, fair heart that's been shattered in two, with razor sharp bush knife and ice in her vein, she's hunting the wide world for you. Alrighty, and that's it. That's all I have. Thank you very much. Thank you, Lem, for putting this together once again. Everybody does appreciate it.